Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's market summary. This is week ending June 27th of 2025. This week, let's just go over kind of the highlights. The S&P 500 posted a weekly climb to fresh highs. It was led by the communications, services, and tech sectors. The S&P 500 rose 3.4% this week to new highs, and that was pretty much led by the communication services and the technology sectors. The S&P 500 ended Friday's session at a record closing high of 6,173.10. The market benchmark also recorded a fresh intraday high during Friday's session at 6,187.68. With just one trading session remaining in June, the S&P 500 is now up 4.4% for the month and 5% for the year. The gains came as the US and China confirmed details of a trade framework that would allow exports of rare earth metals and ease technology curbs. Under the agreement, Beijing will reportedly review and approve export applications for items subject to export control rules, while Washington will cancel various restrictive measures against China. The U.S. is also very hopeful of wrapping up trade discussions with 12 more countries at the start of September, and Wall Street Journal reported Friday, citing Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. It looks like we're also ending our trade talks with Canada. So with that in mind, let's go on and just kind of take a look at the markets here. The markets themselves have been just in a very bullish pattern, and we are seeing that we're getting a little separation from the 10-day moving average here, which is the green line on the SPY, and we are still kind of testing this high. If we kind of break through this in the coming week or weeks, that will be a good positive bullish signal, even more than what it's already been. But all of these moving averages are separated, moving upwards, which is also a positive sign. We also see the oscillator at the bottom here, also picking a little bit more of a positive momentum. If we look at the Dow has yet to get completely caught up here. We have some of these highs. There's a lot of room to move here to the 450 level to obtain these highs and break new ones. So there's a lot of free space here to move higher, which I do see. If the following weeks keep moving positive, I see this actually going up and testing this with no problem. We go on to the QQQ, Q or the NASDAQ. We can see this one is just absolutely making a tear to the upside here. We've broken our all-time high back in February here, and we've set a new all-time high. We've also classified this as a wave 3 now to the upside, and we do see the oscillator at the bottom here moving positive. All of these moving averages are moving in a positive up fashion, and it looks like if we're going to get anything, it'll be maybe a pullback down to the green line or the 10-day moving average. But right now, everything is bullish on that as well. If we take a look at the IWM, which represents the small caps are kind of la-di-da-di-da, just hanging around here. They're still classifying this as a possible sell to the downside. This I do see, if we do see positive signs with our interest rates, this moving higher and going up and testing these highs. So, but right now it's still predicting that it wants to see some downside ahead. On the oscillator at the bottom here, you kind of see some divergence. You see it kind of going from a higher high to a lower high, etc. This is kind of when this has a big mouth open like this. It kind of slams shut to the downside, which would signal this wave 5 still in play. But just gonna be on the cautious side here. Well, if you're playing the IWM anyways, that we might see some further upside. If we go and take a look at the VIX is just pretty much died to the downside. I mean, it's very much, there's nothing there. I mean, we are probably at our lowest levels that we've seen in quite a while. It is still predicting this wave 5 to the upside. So just basically, this is just saying that there could be some fear coming in the market, which all it's going to take is some headline of something that is going to put some fear back in the market. So this may come true, it may not, but hopefully it doesn't. If we go on to the QQ, actually we did the QQ, let's go on to the gold. Let's take a look at the metals. Metals are kind of sitting here. The gold's kind of doing nothing. It looks like it's breaking down even a little bit further. It did break this triangle here to the upside, going back down here, now testing this trend line. We did break below the 30-day moving average here on Friday. We'll see where this comes into play, if we'll get a little bit more bounce to the upside. But right now, this seems to be kind of having more of a downside to it than upside. So just kind of being aware that looks like silver might be the play. Silver seems to be catching up to gold to the upside. Silver was actually on a tear here, and we're just kind of seeing here the wave 3 to the upside. We are below the 10-day moving average, possibly going down to test the 30 before possibly moving higher, but we kind of gain some ground here. We may even see this high here that was just set the other day be broken. So just kind of keep the eyes open on that. I think silver's moving higher, and gold's kind of staying a little bit kind of sideways to the downside. If we look at natural gas, UNG, it's kind of sideways here, but it did kind of take a quick downward move, and now we had a pop to the upside on Friday. I think this was just a lot of people taking their profits. We'll see where this all heads, but right now it's kind of moving sideways. This wave 5 could get hit if this bottom wave 3 over here, this low, is broken. So just kind of play this cautiously right now. I see more downside possibly than upside at the moment. If we look at USO or oil, we see that oil has reached highs here, and then it kind of backed off. It's kind of finding some support here on all the patterns of the moving averages here. I do see this maybe going back up, testing the 10-day moving average, and if we can break through that, then we'll see a little bit higher. But right now, our oscillator at the bottom is also predicting downward momentum, and so I do see right now this probably going sideways maybe next week, but that we'll see. We'll see where that all takes place. But if we go on to the dollar is actually moving to the downside. I do see this wave 5 getting hit. We have broken this wave 3 that was set back here in April. We did break this to the downside. I do see the dollar potentially getting weaker, which, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing at the moment, I do see that happening and breaking down even further, especially if we get some interest rate cuts instead of hikes. That would weaken the dollar even further. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head. How that's all going to play out, we will find out in the coming weeks. But if you have any stocks that you want us to take a look at, make sure that you get those in our chat section, and we will take a look at those next week. Otherwise, we have a holiday trading week coming up, so it'll be a short week. And everybody have a good trading week and take care. And we'll see how we can get a market summary in next week as well. It probably be maybe on Thursday, since the 4th, I think, is on Friday. 4th is on, Friday. So we'll probably do a market summary on Thursday. Maybe we'll wait till Friday, but we'll see. Anyway, have a good trading week. This is the All Things Money weekly market summary ending on June 27th of 2025. Until next week, take care.
As always, do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel, All Things Money, to see more content like this.